Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we're joined by Ciaran Roche, who's the co-founder and CTO at Coevolve. Coevolve is a global provider of telco-independent SD-WAN, SASE, and multi-cloud networking solutions for enterprises. And Ciaran joins us today to discuss the company's role in this ever-growing market. Thanks for coming along today, Ciaran, and welcome to the Jam.
Great, thanks, Mitchell. Great to be here, and yeah, looking forward to talking about this.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining us. Just to kind of start us off, for a business that hasn't worked with Coevolve before, what are your key products and offerings?
So our whole focus at Coevolve is helping enterprises achieve their digital transformation initiatives. And we focus on the networking piece of that, which is really a really important foundation for any of these big digital projects that mid-sized global enterprises are trying to embark on. So we provide telco-independent SD-WAN and SASE, which really means we can come into these environments, not rip out all of the investment they've made in their infrastructure, but deploy a new network over the top of all of that, deliver them better bandwidth, better performance, cost savings, and a whole bunch of other benefits that can help enable those users to get better connectivity and better access into their cloud environments. So very focused on that. That's the business we've built since 2014, is really helping to understand these new technologies, but then also understanding the legacy component of that. So we know the enterprise businesses, we know how to get these technologies in there effectively, and then we can support and manage those on an ongoing basis for those clients as well. So really about that full life cycle of the solution, using these modern technologies and concepts to help achieve those objectives that they have.
Absolutely, and that's very vital in today's climate. In terms of your most recent innovations and improvements, what are they currently?
So, as I said, we've been in this space since 2014, and you could argue in many ways the technologies that we're talking about with SD-WAN and SASE and so on, they're new technologies in themselves. And we're still at that point in the adoption curve of many of those technologies where there's a lot of enterprises that haven't been able to tap into those benefits yet. So a big part of our work is actually still just doing more of the same. Maybe it's something we've been doing for quite a while, but it's brand new to these enterprises, and we're still delivering great benefits by going through that transformation process for them. But what we're also focused on is what can we do over the top of that? So if we've got clients, and we've had clients that have worked with us since the beginning, have renewed multiple times with us, and they've done that because we continue to innovate. We haven't just sat still and kept doing more of the same. We're very focused on what we can do over the top of these technologies themselves. So we've seen SD-WAN, for example, go from being this very mysterious, not widely understood technology 4 or 5 years ago to a point where it's on the radar of most enterprises now, and people have got a pretty good handle on it. So if you can go out and buy that from any number of different providers and different delivery models, what can we do over the top to help differentiate? So we've invested very heavily in our smart services, which is our own intelligent technology stack across the top. And then our co-managed service, so really enabling our clients to have self-service access into these networks, rapidly make changes, get really quick insights into what's going on in the network. They're the main areas that we're focusing on now, which is really delivered over the top of the technology. It's value add that we're providing back to these clients.
Well, that's fantastic. And just to kind of hone in on some of the key trends you guys are focusing on, what are some of they?
So I think this is a challenging time for the segment of the market that we're dealing with. So we deal, as I said, with mid-sized multinationals, so anywhere from 1,000 to 30,000 employees. These businesses are all facing a lot of the same challenges. They're having to deal with this very rapid cloud adoption. Everything is moving to the cloud, whether it's applications, infrastructure, multi-cloud is a big part of that. We're seeing a big shift towards hybrid working models. So we're seeing enterprises now having to give this great user experience, even though the user might be in the office today, but at home tomorrow, accessing cloud applications that the enterprise doesn't own, but they still get the blame if it's not working well. And we're also seeing a real focus on converging network and security. So in the past, they were very separated, but now we're seeing a lot more focus on knocking the two together. So it kind of infusing security concepts into a lot of these networks. And enterprises of the size and scope that we're dealing with, often they don't have the in-house resources or capabilities to be able to deal with all of those changes concurrently. So what we're doing as part of our offerings is offloading some of that effort in terms of adopting some of these emerging technologies and next generation technologies to help smooth out some of those models so they can get much more focus on their cloud adoption piece because the network understands that. It's a network now that can natively support connectivity into cloud applications as opposed to being bolted on. So very focused on making sure that we're making the lives easier for these enterprises as they deal with all of these concurrent challenges. And it's very much about using our delivery model to help smooth that out. So focusing on these co-managed services. People don't want a traditional model where it's completely locked out. The provider doesn't even give them any visibility around what's going on. They want to have a self-service model where they can be more hands-on, be more responsive to the business, but also have the safe pair of hands in the background if things go wrong or if they need to be rescued if something has gone badly wrong in that environment. So we're really tailoring our service offering to what we're hearing out there is in demand from these enterprises so that they can focus on what's in their control within their business, but they're now doing it with a much more agile, focused technology partner through Coevolve to be able to help make that a success.
For sure, and that's very vital in these times of big change. And in terms of your resources that you have in the APAC market, can you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure, yeah. So we're a very global business. We've got clients today that operate in about 80 countries around the world, and we're using 500 different telcos and ISPs to deliver our solutions. So everything we do comes with that sort of global flavor attached to it. But we've got a very strong set of capabilities in the APAC market. So we've got a lot of our team is based in Australia, for example, so in Sydney and more recently in Melbourne as well. We've got sales, technical consulting, client experience, finance, all of the sort of functions you'd expect we have in the Australian market. And then right since the beginning of the business, we've had a strong focus on the Southeast Asia and ASEAN market as well. And we've actually got a big part of our team is based in Malaysia, where we do a lot of our operational and client experience functions are out of that particular country as well. So since the beginning, it's been part of what we do. And I think a key part of that is that you have to have the resources and the experience in the region to be able to make this a success. So we haven't tried to build our business by centralizing our team all in one place. We've distributed the team so that we gain that local knowledge. We know how the different enterprises across those regions, what they expect, what they want to get from their partners. And then we've got the ability then to deliver these really tailored services then depending on what's needed in each of the markets. So yeah, the APAC market is a huge area of focus for us because of that. And I'm based elsewhere in the US, but I spend a significant amount of time and just recently down with our team in Australia, primarily because we want to make sure that we're staying close to our clients and partners in the region as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, if an enterprise end user wanted to engage with you guys, how would they go about doing that?
So easiest way is to reach out to us on our website at coevolve.com. We also have a good presence across several other social media channels. So LinkedIn and Twitter, for example, you can find us there by searching for Coevolve. And yeah, our team is always happy to help. So we're present at a lot of industry events and conferences as well. So it's very likely that if you're attending some of those, you'll bump into our team as well. But yeah, we're ready and willing to help if an enterprise wants to talk, whether they're at the beginning of the journey or they've maybe adopted some of these technologies but want to get more out of it. Kind of anywhere along that spectrum, we're happy to help, and we've got the resources and team there to be able to make that a success.
Well, fantastic. Thanks again so much for joining us today, Ciaran, and we really look forward to hearing more from Coevolve in the future.
Great. Thank you very much, and appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.